What's up? It is your Chic Mortgage Millennial coming to you with a video about some mortgage things. I'm working out of the office today. I had a closing. I'm trying to move back in because the pandemic is over, and let me show y'all my view. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm trying to use this new device. Okay, so look. This is my view. If you look over there, you will see Lenox Mall. I guess that's the main Lenox Mall entrance. So let me see if I could zoom in. Yeah, can you see? So over there, that's Lenox Mall. If you can see, yeah. So let's zoom back out and get it back to me. All right, so I am using this, it is it's the gimbal. Yeah, my husband got it for me. So I'm still trying to figure out how to use it, but I really like it. So it's a stabilizer, but I'm still playing with it, still trying to figure out how to use it, but I'm working out the office today. And I haven't made a video in a while because I keep telling people, y'all, I just don't want to get canceled. And I'm not going to get canceled because, at the end of the day, I do mortgages. So most of the time I don't meet my clients until closing, but they just know that I've done an awesome service for them and I continue to get referrals. So hopefully, with what I'm about to say here, I don't get canceled. The market has been shifting and changing so fast. I'll say fast because honestly it is. I understand that when people are not in this every day, it's hard to catch up. It's hard for us to catch up. So I can only imagine how it is for a buyer or maybe someone who is not more so on the financial side to tell them that interest rates are 5 to 6%, on a regular mortgage. They're just like, what are you talking about? They were just 2% yesterday. I understand. I completely understand all of that. And I feel your pain because imagine how many conversations and tough conversations that we have to have as mortgage loan originators to you all every day. I don't know how I went to do this video, but I did a poll on Instagram and I asked them, should I do it? Should I not do it? And everybody said, do it, girl, do it. And even the people who said, no, don't do it, most of them DM'd me and said, I pushed the wrong button, so everybody wants me to do it. The people want an updated video about the market, state of the market. I'm gonna give that to you, but I'm also gonna give you some things that we as mortgage professionals want to say to you, but we can't because how could we? How could we say that? So here we go. This is gonna be fun. I don't have a list. This is just off the dome because I was like, let me just record it right now. We as mortgage professionals, there are a lot of things that we want to say to you all, whether it's a buyer, potential buyer, or if it's a client coming to us. Like we hear the same questions, inquiries, all of that over and over. But we do have to be professional, hope that we're being professional, but we also do want to kind of educate you during the process. Now, us trying to do that, y'all don't like what we have to say, and it's like, I'm trying to be nice to you, what I'm trying to say. So how do we say it? Well, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna take off my mortgage hat right now, and I'm just gonna talk to you all. Don't cancel me. It's coming from a place of love. So with this market, the biggest thing is people do not understand that interest rates have a direct impact on the amount of house that you can afford. And I feel like that is the biggest thing. So imagine in a market where rates were historically low, and everyone is trying to buy a house, competition is high, it's hard to get your offers accepted, and you might be able to afford, let's say, $300,000, $400,000. Okay, so your shopping is taking you a longer time to shop. It's not the days where, oh yeah, I want to buy a house, I'm going to move next week. I'm going to move, not next week, I'm going to buy a house next month. That's not how it works because you might not be able to find a house next month. So we've been in an interesting situation because many people want to buy, there aren't enough homes for them to buy. There aren't enough homes available. There are multiple offer situations. So during this time where rates were 2% and 3%, you might have not been able to purchase a home. You might have been actively searching for your home within your price range, within the range that you were pre-approved for. Now we have this shift and interest rates are high. That's what you all say. I say getting back to normal, not historically low, but still relatively low in comparison to previous times. But it's not what it was before. This ain't that. We're going to get to that. But it's not that. It's not that thing that you all had before. So no one likes change. So yeah, you've been searching for a home for $300,000, $400,000, or whatever your price range is for a year. You can't find anything. Now rates are increasing. You don't really know what that means to you, what that means to the same person who has been looking for a house in this range and hasn't been able to find a house. What does it really mean? It's like, okay, my payment's gonna be higher. No. That's not the only thing that we think of as mortgage professionals. It's not just about your monthly payment. It's about your debt to income ratio. And can you now afford this higher payment for a $300,000, $400,000 house at the interest rate of today's market? Right? So I hear people talking about it. I hear people talking about interest rates, but I don't really see a lot of people saying, hey, you need to check in with your loan officer to see if you still qualify for that $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 house. House prices are going up. Rates are going up, which means everyone is asking, is there any way that I can qualify for more house? Well, if rates are increasing, you're qualifying actually for less house than you started out for. And that's a lot of math, and sometimes, the math isn't mathing, and it's really hard to explain that to people, but that is a major thing that's going on right now. As the market was shifting, I felt like I was becoming the queen of restructure. Restructuring a loan, that is when we try to figure out what do we need to do to make this loan work. Because imagine, if people are shopping on a pre-approval letter and interest rates are increasing, not even a quarter, not half a quarter, 1% to 2% higher than when they first started, your DTI is going to be higher. So now it's a question of, is your DTI over the allowable threshold for the program that you're doing? If it is, we have to figure out, okay, are there some items that you need to pay off or that you can pay off? Where's the wiggle room here? Some people don't have a lot of wiggle room because you have to remember prices were already high. So we've had conversations over the past 2 years where people want to try to afford more house. That means when you call your loan officer or your agent tells you to call your loan officer and say, hey, do you think they can qualify for a little bit more? Do you think they can qualify for a little bit more? So in today's market, people barely have any wiggle room for half as many changes as the market is going through right now. So it's putting all of us lovely mortgage professionals in an interesting situation. It's very fun to continue to have conversations about actually, what you qualify for right now in today's market is this. And they're like, but no, I was coming to you asking you for more. You're giving me less than when we first started, and I just don't understand. Well, did you get a raise? Do you have any additional income you can include? It's like the market is changing, but our lifestyles are not changing. Gas is going up. Everything's going up. Pay is not going up. Some of these people might not have any additional income. So it's just an interesting situation to be in. And it's like, how can I articulate this to where someone would even want to work with me? Because it's just crazy. It is really crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot that we're going through right now. You want to educate people. When you tell people certain things like this, people will immediately say, oh, well, maybe I should just wait. This isn't the right time to buy. It's not what we said. It's not what I just said. But when you're trying to tell people about rates and, this interest rate is going to be higher because we're basing it off of today's market. We can only lock you in when you're under contract, what the rates are today, all of those things that people hear blah, 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 blah. Like, what are you talking about? Should I just wait? Should I just wait? That's usually people's response. And you're not trying to encourage people to wait. You're just trying to educate people on the current state of the market. It's a lot. It's a lot, right? What I'm saying is probably a lot. No one's saying that anyone needs to wait. It's just multiple variables that come into purchasing a home right now. One, you want to make sure that you get an updated pre-approval letter. That's why they say pre-approval letters expire after 30 days. That is why, because you want to make sure that you're checking in with your loan officer to make sure that there aren't any changes in your situation, as well as situations or changes in the market, because they go hand in hand. So if, let's say, you check in and your interest rate previously when you were shopping, let's say it was 3.875%, and you're like, well, why are you telling me 5.5? I don't even understand I don't understand what you're talking about right now. I don't understand. Not telling you that you cannot buy a house, but this is your interest rate, right? Now, because of this, maybe your maximum has gone from the maximum amount of house that you want to be shopping for your budget, for your unique situation, based on your current liabilities, based on your current income. Maybe now, instead of being able to afford $350, maybe now you can only afford $300. Maybe now you were at $300,000 before. Maybe now you can only qualify for $250. Sometimes people think that when you give them a pre-approval letter, they don't understand that it's a living and breathing document. This isn't but you told me that I could get $300,000 before. Why can't I get it now? You told me that. There's just so many different variables when it comes into getting a mortgage. You're not getting a loan. It's not a personal loan where someone is saying, hey, here's $300,000. This is a secured mortgage backed by collateral. So your terms and conditions are not locked in until you have the collateral. Dang, that was a good explanation. Felt so nice I had to say it twice, because as I'm talking to you, that's the perfect way to explain it. Like, this is not a personal loan. So a lot of people want to say, well, you told me. And that's why we try not to even tell y'all anymore. I'm joking. I still communicate with my clients, but so many times mortgage professionals we have to be very straightforward, detailed, straight to the point, and have these tough conversations, because you all take everything that we say as gold. And so sometimes when you have people like me I try not to over explain, but I do want to make sure that you understand. If you say something incorrectly, or I'm not feeling that you have a clear understanding of what you're getting into or the terms that we have discussed, I have to correct you, and I want to do it by educating you on the market, the way that this works. But when you're getting a mortgage, it is backed by collateral. So you cannot be approved for something if there is no collateral. What we're doing is using the tools and resources that we have to say, hey, based on your income, your credit, and your assets, this is the amount of house that you are eligible for. This is your eligibility letter, and then there are certain things that we have to do to make sure that everything aligns. That's why when you go under contract, typical mortgage process, even though y'all are, we getting it done quicker than that because everything is a time crunch, but average 30 days. This is a 30-day process because there are multiple moving parts. You have a closing attorney, getting all the title documents together, making sure the title of the house is in order. You have homeowner's insurance agent involved, making sure that you have the right protection. There are property taxes. We've got to make sure that we factor in property taxes for your unique property, Then you have your unique situation. You have a credit score. You have a certain number of debts and liabilities, and you might have real estate already owned. Like, there are so many moving pieces that determine whether or not you are eligible for this one specific amount, for this one specific purchase price. And even more so now, you have the appraisal. So the appraiser, they have to say, yes, this house is worth, to agree. Everything has to match and agree. So when you're communicating with someone and you're trying to break down interest rates, and people want their final numbers and be like, well, I'm trying to see what my monthly payment is going to be before I get this house, It's almost like Allen Iverson when he was like, practice. You talking about practice. It's like in life, you have to have wiggle room. So in the mortgage industry, you have to have wiggle room because everything is growing and developing based on a specific house with a specific person's situation. And it's so detailed and I'm so fascinated by the mortgage industry. That's why I like doing what I do. But it's so intricate that some people really want give me my final. You told me, you said this, you told me my rate was this 6 months ago and a year ago, so I don't understand. I thought we locked that in 6 months ago. You're not under contract, bro. You just, and you don't want to be disrespectful, but you really just want to understand. And because we work with so many first-time home buyers, I definitely understand that, like, sometimes you're listening to things and it's just like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't even understand what she's talking about. Y'all are researching programs. Y'all are watching IG lives. You're doing all of this stuff to educate yourself, and then still you feel like you don't know anything. Like, how am I supposed to buy a house and you can't explain to me what I'm doing? I don't get it. And that is why you also work with licensed professionals who have been doing this. Hopefully they have experience, but they got their license, they had to pass a test. But you want to work with someone experienced because you're not going to know everything. It's too complicated. I do have my real estate license, but I do mortgages. That's my jam. So I leave it up to my real estate professionals to worry about the intricate details of the real estate side. Now, do I know a lot over there? Yes. If a buyer asks me questions about over there, I'm going to refer them to their licensed representative who they've selected to represent them. Now, on the same token, if there are questions, mortgage questions, whether or not my lovely associate or real estate professional who is giving me their client to love on them and taking care of them, whether they know or not, a good real estate agent is going to say, hey, ask your loan officer, ask the lender, ask this, ask that. If there are questions that are related to the closing attorney, hey, guess what? Y'all pay them a lot of fees, okay? It's a part of your closing disclosure. It's a part of a closing cost. We might need to tap them in because this is a mortgage. This is a whole, you're not buying a car. When you go in and sign a car, we don't know what we're signing, but it's a car. Like, how detailed can it be? I don't understand. This is a structure. This is a property. This is a piece of the pie. And there are so many different moving parts that you're not going to know everything and you're not going to understand everything. So at the same time, you need to work with people who you trust. You need to work with people who have their licenses and get advice from people who have their license, and get advice from people who have their license and do this every day, and work with people who have their license. But seriously, that's why it's not the best to get information or advice from Mama Joe's cousin, uncle, brother who bought a house 5 years ago. I think I've said this in videos before. Like, this is not that. This ain't that. Everything changes so quickly. So I know that it is hard. It's even hard for me to even put in the words like what is going on right now because it's a lot. It's more than just, oh, interest rates are high. Interest rates high. Interest rates high. Interest rates are increasing. Should I buy? Should I wait for the market to crash? It's like the conversation could literally take, we could talk about this all day, every day for a few months. It's so detailed that you're not going to be able to talk about everything, especially when y'all want to talk for 30 minutes. Now, 30 minutes, that's a long time to talk to somebody. But 30 minutes, you're not going to have a clear understanding of every piece of aspect of economy, property, mortgage, real estate. Like, some people want to get off the phone with you and I say that they want to be a mortgage ontologist, because that's my word. I'll get that on a t-shirt. But you're not going to leave the conversation being a mortgage ontologist. So while we are trying to educate you and let you know, hey, things are changing, rates have increased, from when you first started your process, or home prices are increasing, or homes are only staying on the market for 2 hours, it's hard to take in. But that doesn't mean stop. That doesn't mean, stop your journey. But you want to make sure that you are putting yourself in a situation where you can make the best decision for yourself. You want to shop for a home. You don't want to be under pressure. It is pressure for everyone. It's pressure for every piece of the puzzle in this market right now. It's pressure for the insurance agent that, look, we closing tomorrow and there was a change. We need you to make this change and update the insurance binder ASAP. Everything's ASAP. So it's stressful for everybody, but you want to enjoy the process and still love that you're purchasing a home, because at the end of the day, rates are today. You can always refinance and lower your interest rate. That's what they don't teach us. Some people know that, but a lot of people don't know that. Some people will say, oh, I ain't trying to get locked into 30 years. Do you love this home? Is it the home for you? Can you afford it right now? Okay, purchase the home. Watch the market, and when rates decrease, you can call me. Call your loan officer and say, you know what? It's time for me to refinance my mortgage. Or, you know what? It's time for me to tap into that equity and refinance my mortgage and do a cash out refinance. And I'm going to take out that $100,000 because my house has over $200,000 in equity. Prices are increasing. Equity is increasing. Equity is increasing so drastically. For my closing today, the buyer did an appraisal 120 days ago. Appraisals are good for 120 days. And I think, I ain't gonna tell y'all the situation that happened. But anyway, we had to do another appraisal. Her first appraisal came back at 402. This appraisal came in at 460. That's basically 4 months later. And she came to me because another lender couldn't assist her. So there was an original appraisal. But that's $60,000 in equity in 4 months. You shouldn't wait. That's not the solution. The solution is educating yourself and making sure that you have a solid pre-approval and making sure that you're in contact with your loan officer, so that way any changes can be adjusted, so that way when you go through the mortgage process, you'll get to the closing table, sign your documents, and you'll get your keys. That is the process. Stressing yourself on the front end while you're searching, I can't tell you not to do that either, because that's a part of it. But you also want to make sure that you are, I don't even want to say educating yourself, because there's so much false information out there. You just want to trust the process, because it is a process, and listen to your licensed professionals. So that's what we want to tell you. But am I able to tell y'all that? Or are you just going to be like, I'm going to just go somewhere else? Because I can't tell you how many times people go somewhere else trying to see if they can afford more house, and then they end up, come on back home. Someone else told you they was going to sell you a dream and sell you this and sell you that, and come on back home. I'm fine with you coming back home, but I'm not going to tell you anything to put my license on the line, and I'm not going to, when I send out a pre-approval letter, listen, the mortgage industry is stressful enough for me to send out a pre-approval letter for somebody praying and hoping that they get to the closing table. We don't do that no more. We've graduated. I've been doing this for 11 years. I'm addressing red flags on the front end. I need all of your documents, 4 and 5, all pages, the blank one too. No, I need to see everything, because there's so much other things that we need to address. We don't need to be addressing the basic stuff like, do you have enough funds for closing? That's elementary, not elementary. This is why the things we want to say, because I can't talk to you like that, and I will never talk to you like that. But, we're still discussing funds for closing. We have a lot more to discuss. It's crazy. I feel better. I got all of this off my chest, I don't think I was too bad. I don't think I'll get canceled, but I do think that you all need to just watch the news. Sometimes people come to me. One of my clients, who was it? Oh yeah, one of my clients, we were closed. I think she closed. Actually, she closed this week. I had 2 closings this week. I've been working with her for a while. But she sent me a message, and it was closing day, or was it when she got the CD? I was like, girl, stop playing with me. Oh yeah, she signed the closing disclosure, and she was like, I want to read it to y'all because it was really funny. I want to make sure I get it all right. It's funny, like I love my clients because they know that like I'm honest, so I'm not gonna play with you. Like sometimes I might be like, what did you say? Who told you that? Or if somebody tells me something and they come to me with like something new, I'm like, okay, so where did you Google that? Who told you about that first of all? Because people always researching, they always coming up with something like, okay, so I heard about, who told you that? No. But you have to have that relationship with some people, and because you don't want to, I can't explain every single thing to you, but you could take my advice. So she said, I noticed the interest rate was at 4.5. Did we not lock it in when it was at 3? She closing this week, so that means it's April. Girl, rates ain't been 3 cents, and I didn't even know you when rates was 3, so don't play with me. I said the interest rate was locked at the beginning of the process, and rates have not been 3% all year. Because November, they started hitting phone, okay? And not November, January. She gonna say, and because when you see that, your heart kind of drops it, because you're just like, what are you talking about? Like, I get so many fires to my email. So imagine seeing that, and it's just like, she says, LOL, okay, I thought it was lower. I tried, and sends a laughing emoji. I was like, I'm glad you said that. You did try, LOL. At least you're honest. And she was like, yep, I told you I would be. So it's like, that was so funny to me because, first of all, I don't even need to look at nothing. I never said a 3 or nothing to you, boo. Like, 3. But you have to have that relationship because some people will just try it. Like, and you'll be stressing, like, where did they get that from? Did we lock the rate? Did I do something? No, like you have to be secure in knowing, like, ma'am, you want to know what your rate will be today? Because it just keeps on going up. No, you cannot get 4.5. She could not get 4.5. 4.5. But it's just funny. I don't stress. You just educate. And people appreciate it. Like, you know, she's like, at least I tried. Because, yeah, that's you trying. And I can respect that. But just for people who are just like, well, I just don't understand. Like, some people really get mad when you tell them what the current interest rates are. And I'm just like, ma'am, I did not push a button and specifically say, let me give you this rate to piss you off. I did not. It's just it's a very interesting time. But I feel like when I started this channel, we were going through an interesting time, which is cool, you know? I started it. We were going in the pandemic. We didn't know what was going to happen. It was all about forbearance. It was all about all this type of stuff. So again, the market shifts, the market changes. I had no idea how it was going to be. So if you look at my first video, you might be like, wow, that's crazy. You know, the world shut down. We was like, what are we about to do? What's going to happen? Are people still going to buy houses? Look at us now. How many houses have I closed since 2020? I don't even know, but it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So people are still buying houses. And that's why when people say, oh, should I wait? You're just going to be waiting for the next market shift. Because when rates went down, inventory went away. Now, rates are high, inventory is still low. So that means people are still buying. So the best time to buy is when you're financially stable, financially ready to buy. And then you just have to buy based on the current market and live your life. Like, don't overcomplicate it. You don't need to get your credit pulled by 52 lenders because somebody said they could do something best. I think I got a good amount out. I feel like this is a good timing. I don't want to keep y'all here all day, but I wanted to get that off my chest. Hopefully you like this video. If you have any experiences based on the current market or any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comment box. I'm here to educate you, try to do as much as I can. If you're an agent looking for partnership, I'm licensed in Texas and Georgia. My office is in Georgia. I live in Georgia. So I service all of Georgia and all of Texas. But yeah, just continue to educate yourself and do the matrix on all of that misinformation that's out here, because that really kind of discouraged me from making videos, because I was like, I'd be watching some of these IG lives and these videos like, that's wrong, that's not right, that's not true, that's incorrect, false. Make sure you get partners who are licensed in their respective fields. Partners, people that you can call, people you can ask. If I have anything that I need answered on the closing attorney side, I have people I can call. If I need anything answered on the real estate side, I know people that I can call. And for sure, if there are people who have mortgage related questions, they definitely ask me. Insurance, everything, every aspect of purchasing a home, because getting information from people who are on the outside looking in, by the time they grasp whatever concept it is that they're trying to explain to you, the market has already changed to something else. So, all right, well, I'm gonna wrap this up, and it is your Chic Mortgage Millennial coming to you with another video about some mortgage things. So have a good day. Bye.